Yes, people, welcome back to United View. We're here for the preview for Manchester United versus Bodø Glimt. Ruben Amorim's first home game as Manchester United head coach. The players are out. We've got a few new faces back. They've had their little introduction, having to run through the little made-up tunnel from the players. I see Harry Maguire back from injury, Lisandro Martinez back from injury, and Kobbie Mainoo back from injury. We already knew that Tyrell Malacia was there. I can't see Lenny Yoro, so I think there's probably more precaution with him. I'm just double checking that he's not there. Yeah, he's not there, so no Lenny Yoro. But we're going to have to wait for that anticipated debut from him. But some friendly faces back. Luke Shaw, no recurrence of anything flaring up from when he came on at the 55th minute against Ipswich Town. So he's back out there as well, which is fantastic to see. So more players for Ruben Amorim to choose from. We haven't been to the presser yet. That's happening after training. So we'll have to find out exactly what's happening with Lenny Yoro. And just how fit the likes of Kobbie Mainoo is, the likes of Tyrell Malacia is, the likes of Harry Maguire, can he get some minutes? I haven't seen Johnny Evans as well, actually. Probably needed a rest from going, so high against Ipswich Town. Bless him. He probably needed a rest after that. So, yeah, the players are out. There's smiles on faces. It's a nice day at Carrington. It's cool. You can hear them all laughing in the background in the rondos. That's what we want to see. But Bruno will be the player talking to the press as well. So it'll be good to pose some questions to him. And it'll be good to get a feel for how Ruben Amorim wants to set the team. Well, we know he's going to set the team up. But in terms of personnel, he's spoken a lot about the players who haven't been playing. They will be working on the system. They will be working on his principles and how he wants to play. And the players who are in matches, they will swap out. There's a lot of games. If you're looking from now until at least the next couple of months, we've got midweek games every week, game every 3 to 4 days. The schedule is relentless. On one hand, it's difficult for Ruben because to instill his principles and to work on what he wants to work with, he doesn't have time to do this. But we're learning about the players game by game, in game, and looking at their decisions and looking at how they're going to get used to what he wants to do. So, yeah, interesting to see. I can see Ugarte's there. He's happy. Casemiro there. Garnacho, Malacia, Anthony in training as well. Xerxes Eriksson on this side. Rasmus. So it looks like pretty much a full complement. Pretty much a full complement. But let's get into the presser to find out exactly some more of the intricacies about what we can expect to see against Bodø Glimt.
Bruno, for you, how difficult is it to take on new ideas, new instructions when you're so used to doing something one way? I'm not saying you're old, but but for yourself, you've been playing a certain way. You're very used to certain things, and you're very experienced. So when Ruben comes in and maybe has different demands from you at this stage of your career, how easy is that for you to follow through versus maybe when you were younger and you were less experienced but more open to different ways of playing?
No, I think probably could be worse for the younger players, because for me, I know very well what the players of Sporting were doing. I know exactly what they were doing in their positions. So, not because I was reading what the manager was doing there, but because I was watching their games. And obviously, at the stage of, as the manager said, we are international players. So every time we go to the national team, you probably play in a different system. And for example, when I go to national team, sometimes we also play with the back three. And sometimes I play as a 10, sometimes I play a little bit deeper, sometimes I play a little bit wider. So already in the national team I had that experience of the manager with a formation, like the manager said about we play with a 3 at the back, but then you rotate and then you end up playing different ways. You press them in one way, you defend in another way, you attack in a way, then you always have to move. And in the national team we do that a lot. So I don't think the age should be a problem, either older or younger. It's about carrying the most you can from the dynamics and from the players you have around. And then I think every training session try to get something from the game and understanding what the manager demands from us. But at the end, as the manager said, you don't need to overthink things. You just have to know that we have a base, a foundation, and from there on, you still have to play and do your game.
So there you have it. Ruben Amorim has addressed the media here at Carrington today after the training session ahead of the Bodo Glimt game. It was a really good press conference, actually. I think he was very detailed in sort of ironing out some of not the misconceptions that he may have had, but some of the lack of understanding or the barrier of some of the points he's been making post Ipswich. Bruno was in the press conference as well, as you saw. He was very, very forthcoming. And what I've realised, and I don't know if you guys realised it, if you've seen the presser, is this willingness to speak more and explain yourself more. There was a question asked to Bruno from our good friend from DAZN, and he said about him playing different positions, etc. But Ruben said, no, come on, this is a good question. You need to answer that, Bruno. And Bruno went on to give a really lengthy answer, like he did to my question as well. And I just felt that feels a bit different. Normally, and Bruno is a good talker, but a lot of the time, when players have to answer questions, it's, well, don't trip up, keep it quite simple, say what you have to say, and keep it moving. But there felt like there was more of a willingness to explain in the answers. He spoke about Lenny Yoro. I want to talk about that because obviously we want to know where he is, when he can make his debut. He was asked that, I think, by Samuel Luckhurst, and he basically said he is fit to train. He is training, but they don't want to rush him back. They want to build up his fitness. So he's ready to. He has been training, but he's not taking part in every single training session to the maximum capacity. They want to make sure they get it right. They want to make sure that he's fully fit. He went on to reiterate that they believe in him. He's a top talent, and they basically can't wait to have him back in the team. He was asked, I think, by Neil Custis about the situation about strikers. Does he need a new one? And of course, he's going to defend the players that are here. And he sort of alluded to the fact that I know you're basically asking me, do I need a new striker? But it's for us to work on what we have. It's for us to get more out of the players. The goals is a concern, of course, but he wants to work on that. He wants to improve the players that we have here. And then he was also asked about Marcus individually and can Rashford get back to where he wants to be? Back in the England team, back scoring goals again consistently for Man United. And Ruben again gave a good answer, man. He said, look, it has to start with Marcus. If Marcus wants to get back to the top level, it starts with him, and then he will have all the help and the support from all the coaches here at United, all the fans around the world. But it has to come from Marcus Rashford first. And that's the way around it should go. You know, Marcus is in a difficult spot, hasn't been his confident self. He's been struggling in games. Did get a goal at the weekend, which is good. But his all-round game, we want to see it improve, and he will want to see it improve as well. So I think that was a positive. We've seen in the training, like I said earlier, that Martinez is back, Harry Maguire is back in there as well. Malacia was obviously still continuing training. Luke Shaw was still there, which was a positive, and Malacia was still there as well. So that's positive. So Mason Mount was still there. So that's positives. So no fresh injury concerns in terms of anyone who might be out. Harry Maguire said he feels good. I heard that's a positive because we need more options in them back three positions, and we have to wait. We have to wait and see, you know, how we build with this manager. And one thing Ruben Amorim did say as well, when asked how excited he is about, you know, coming into this game and how it's his first game at Old Trafford, and he said everyone tells me it'd be amazing, but he goes, to be honest with you, I just want to win the game. I just want to win the game, and that is what is so important tomorrow night, because after the win against PAOK and the 3 consecutive draws against, you know, Fenerbahce, Porto, and FC20, the time's running out, and we have to make sure we win this next batch of games. You know, Rangers, Victoria Plzeň, Bodo Glimt. I think there's one more. I can't remember who it's against. And speaking to some of the Norwegian journalists, they're saying they can win the league, I think, on the weekend. There's rumours that they could rest players, but you know, they are still a very good team. They've done well against Porto, Braga, Fenerbahce, these types of teams, Union as well. So they're no mugs. They're no mugs. Just because you may not have heard of Bodo Glimt or don't know much about them, I don't profess to know much about them at all. But when you're doing a little bit of research of their form coming into this, they don't lose many football matches. Like I said, looking to be champions in the next game. And like Ruben Amorim said in the press conference, he also said that they run a lot, they run hard, and we need this type of game. So if you're sitting there thinking that this team is a bunch of mugs, then you're going to be mistaken. Yes, we might not know who they are player for player or know every detail about them, but what we do know, which I can definitely tell you from being around here and listening to the manager speak and the Norwegian press, they are no mugs. They are no mugs. They are a good team, and they're used to winning football matches. And when you play a team that's used to winning, yes, you can look down on the league and the standard, etc., but it's not easy. They will give us a good game, and we need to be on it, and I want to see that. So let's see what the rotation brings. Let's see who he brings in and out. He cleared up the situation about when he said, well, some players will train, then they will come out, and then they won't, and then they will come in and they will learn what we haven't been working on because the games are coming. He cleared that up. So let's see what it brings. I'm going to go with a win. I think we'll concede, but I think we'll get it done 2-1. Let me know what you guys are saying in the chat as well for your predicted 11s and your prediction for the game. I'm out of here from Carrington. Peace.